on, she is used to all of this. Oh, Caitlin Clark, rookie on rookie crime right there in Mule's face.
What do you think it takes to be recognized as a top player in the WNBA? Because apparently, leading the league in assists, averaging 17.1 points per game, and being a rookie sensation isn't enough. Caitlin Clark is facing some serious disrespect, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You'd think with numbers like these, Clark would be a shoo-in for MVP, right? Well, get ready for a surprise. The WNBA's treatment of this rookie phenom is about to blow your mind.
Oh, but we are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest...
Imagine this. Clark's out there, dishing assists like candy, scoring left and right, and grabbing rebounds like it's nothing. She's playing like she's been in the league for years. But here's the kicker. The WNBA doesn't seem to care. What's about to unfold might change how you see the WNBA forever. You know what's crazier? This isn't just about Clark. It's about how the league values its players. Let's talk about why this matters and what it means for the future of women's basketball. Let's talk numbers for a second. 17.1 points per game. League leader in assists.
Here's Clark with it. Bentley inside against the taller Mercedes Russell.
Rookie sensation. Now, guess where the WNBA ranked Caitlin Clark among all players? The answer will make you wonder if they're even watching the same games we are. ESPN just dropped their mid-season top 25 players list, and it's causing quite a stir. You'd think with Clark's stats, she'd be a lock for the top spots, right? Well, brace yourself. As we count down from the top, you'll see names like Breanna Stewart, A'ja Wilson, and Alyssa Thomas. All incredible players, no doubt. But where's Clark? Keep going down. Past the top 5, past the top 10. Finally, at number 15, there she is, Caitlin Clark. The same Caitlin Clark who's been lighting up scoreboards and breaking records left and right. It's like putting LeBron James at 15 in his rookie year. It just doesn't make sense. Let's break this down. Clark's not just good for a rookie. She's good, period. She's outperforming veterans who've been in the league for years. But apparently, that's not enough for a top 10 spot. It's like the WNBA saying, hey, rookie, wait your turn. But here's the thing. Basketball isn't about waiting your turn. It's about performance.
Score power on the court. Watch that inside hand, that left hand. Caitlin Clark.
And Clark's performance? It's off the charts. She's not just playing well, she's changing the game. Every time she steps on the court, it's like watching a highlight reel in real time. Fans are noticing too. One fan said, Caitlin Clark at 15 when she's top 3 in MVP contention as a rookie is absolute insanity. And you know what? They're right. It is insane. Clark's not just contributing to her team, she's carrying them. The Indiana Fever's playoff hopes? They're riding on Clark's shoulders. But it's not just about the numbers. Clark's impact goes beyond the stat sheet. She's bringing in crowds, 5 home games, 82,157 fans. That's not just good, that's game-changing. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. So why the low ranking? Some say it's about team success over individual performance. But isn't basketball supposed to be a team sport where individual brilliance can shine? If that's the case, Clark's star should be blinding everyone right now. This ranking isn't just unfair to Clark. It's a symptom of a bigger problem in how the WNBA values its players. It's like they're saying, experience trumps talent. Team record trumps individual impact. But in a league that's fighting for recognition and growth, shouldn't they be celebrating their brightest stars? You thought the player rankings were a head-scratcher? The MVP race is about to blow your mind. How can a player dominate the court, lead in assists, and still be considered just an honorable mention for MVP? The answer reveals a lot about what the WNBA really values. Let's dive into the WNBA's official MVP list. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation we've been talking about, is nowhere to be found in the top rankings. Instead, she's tucked away as an honorable mention. It's like they're saying, thanks for playing, but you're not quite there yet. But how does that make sense when she's outperforming seasoned veterans? Compare Clark's performance to other MVP candidates like A'ja Wilson. Sure, Wilson's putting up impressive numbers, but Clark's impact on her team is undeniable. She's not just contributing, she's carrying the Indiana Fever on her shoulders. They're in the playoff hunt because of her. That's MVP material right there. Let's break down the stat. Clark's averaging 17.1 points per game and leading the league in assists. She's doing this as a rookie. A rookie! Most players take years to reach this level, but Clark's doing it straight out of the gate. It's like she skipped the learning curve entirely. But here's where things get weird. The MVP race seems to care more about team success than individual brilliance. It's like they're saying, sorry Clark, your team's not winning enough, so you can't be the MVP. But isn't that backwards? Shouldn't the most valuable player be the one who elevates their entire team? One commentator hit the nail on the head. The MVP race isn't just about individual players. It's about the values the WNBA chooses to prioritize. And right now, it looks like they're prioritizing team records over game-changing talent. It's a system that might work for established teams, but what about players like Clark who are single-handedly turning their franchises around? This isn't just about Clark though. It's about how we measure value in sports. Should we only look at win-loss records, or should we consider the impact a player has on the game, the fans, and the league as a whole? Because if we're talking impact, Clark's bringing in crowds, breaking records, and making people excited about women's basketball. You think Clark's just changing basketball? Think again. Her treatment in the WNBA is opening up a whole can of worms about sports, society, and stuff that's got nothing to do with three-pointers or assists. Clark's story isn't just making waves on the court, it's sparking conversations about race, gender, and equality that are way bigger than the game itself. Let's talk about how Clark's journey is shaking things up. It's not just about her stats or rankings anymore. Her presence in the WNBA has got people talking about some serious issues. We're seeing debates pop up about race and gender equality in sports, and Clark's right in the middle of it all. But here's the thing. Clark's not too happy about being used as a talking point in these debates. She's made it clear that she doesn't want to be part of discussions about racism or misogyny. Instead, she's calling for something pretty simple but super important: respect for all players in the league. That's right, all players, not just the rookies, not just the veterans, but everyone who steps on that court. Now, let's look at the bright side for a second. Clark's impact on the WNBA, it's huge. The Indiana Fever's attendance has gone through the roof since she joined. People are showing up in droves to watch her play. It's like she's single-handedly boosting the league's popularity. That's pretty impressive for a rookie, don't you think? But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The way the media's been covering Clark and the WNBA, it's got some people raising their eyebrows. Some folks are saying the coverage lacks depth and nuance. Instead of having real, meaningful conversations about women's sports, we're getting a lot of sensationalism. It's like the media's missing the forest for the trees. What's really interesting is how Clark's journey is changing the way we talk about women's sports, especially basketball. It's not just about can women play as well as men anymore. It's about recognizing talent, regardless of gender. It's about giving credit where credit's due. And it's about understanding that these athletes are more than just their stats or their gender. So, what does all this mean? Well, it's showing us that sports aren't just about what happens on the court. They're a reflection of our society. The way we treat athletes, the way we talk about them, the opportunities we give them. It all says something about our values. And Clark's story? It's pushing us to take a good hard look at those values. All right, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. This rookie's not just playing basketball, she's changing the game. Remember all those crazy stats we talked about? The assists, the points, the crowd she's bringing in? That's just the beginning. Clark's not just fighting for herself. She's fighting for every woman in the WNBA. She's saying, hey, we deserve respect too. And you know what? She's right. But here's the real kicker. Clark's story isn't just about basketball. It's about changing how we see women in sports. She's not waiting for someone to give her a chance. She's taking it, and she's showing everyone that women's sports are worth watching. So here's the thing. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game on the court. She's changing how we see women in sport, and that's a victory we all need to cheer for.